I'm here to let you know that support for Israel is strong in the United States Congress. And let us reflect why in recent events. It was Israel that accepted the ceasefire proposed by Egypt, the Arab Republic of Egypt. It was Hamas who said, no, we want to fire more rockets at Israeli cities.
Right.
It was Israel that agreed to a 5-hour ceasefire and ceased firing. It was Hamas that agreed to a 5-hour humanitarian ceasefire, lobbed 3 mortars across the border, and caused significant harm in Eshkol. Now, there are those who engage in international jurisprudence by counting body bags. They say, well, Israel must be wrong because Hamas has ended, the Palestinians have suffered more casualties. By that reckoning, you look at World War II and you decide that Eisenhower must be a war criminal because there were so many more German casualties than American casualties in that war. That is preposterous. Every single rocket fired into Israel is a war crime. It's named at civilians. And the fact that the war crime is unsuccessful isn't our fault. In fact, Iron Dome, supported by the United States, has been critical in keeping that civilian casualty list small.
Thank you.
And every attempt by Israel at taking military action is designed to minimize civilian casualties. As Bibi Netanyahu says, we use rockets to protect our civilians, and they use civilians to protect their rockets. Ted Cruz was just up here. He introduced in the Senate, along with Bob Menendez, the bill we introduced in the House, Doug Lambert and myself, to provide a $5 million reward to find those who had killed American citizen Frankel, Naftali Frankel. He got that bill through the Senate Foreign Relations Committee today. And we've got to get that bill through the House Committee later this week, later next week. Finally, I got to cover just a couple more points. As to Iran, a lot of people think this is natural male pattern baldness. It is not. This is what happens when you spend 18 years pounding your head into the wall trying to get sanctions on Iran. We finally have moderate sanctions on Iran. We need a good deal, which we need much tougher sanctions. And in addition, we need to transfer to Israel the 30,000-pound super bunker buster bomb and the B-52s that are capable of carrying it. Once we do that, we'll get a much better deal in Vienna than we're likely to get any other way. Finally, I can't cover everything. If you want to hear everything I have to say on this, you'll want to see me on Al Jazeera. It's up on my webpage. I went on Al Jazeera and explained that the owners of Al Jazeera are funding the war crimes that are represented by every one of those rockets. What media outlet in this country says owned by war criminals? That needs to be kept in mind when you pay your local cable bill. Ask your local cable company what you're paying for. Thank you very much. I'm Brad.